Hello guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another of my videos. Today I'm bringing you guys the best Genjutsu tier list in Shindo Life. Now if you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more, and hope to see you in the next one guys. Let's get right into the video. Alright guys, so we're going to start out with Akuma's first ability. Now I feel like this is a very good ability overall, and I feel like this is a good start to the tier list since Akuma is one of the most basic Genjutsus on this tier list. And all it does is pretty much, it's just a short stun. It makes a black bubble around them. It is just the basis of the Genjutsus actually in Shindo Life. I feel like this is a very good starting point. It is just a good overall ability. Next up is going to be Akuma Eternal Hand. Now the Akuma Eternal Hand Genjutsu is actually when you die, it makes it look like you actually died, but you didn't. Now with Akuma Eternal Hand, in my personal opinion, I feel like that ability is what actually would make it OP if the stats were better and if the actual ability of it was better. But right now, the only thing that's good about it is the Genjutsu, but the other things don't make it quite good enough to put it on an actual like tier list with all the other modes in the game. Next up is going to be Bankai Stun. Now, obviously, Bankai Genjutsu is going to be Broken. This is one of the best Genjutsus in the entire game. It is a long-range Genjutsu. It's very easy to hit. It goes through block in duels for some reason, and it doesn't go through. It goes through block. It goes through rotations and stuff like that in duels for some reason. I think that might have been fixed recently, but it actually did that before, and it's just overall a really good ability and a really long stun. Next up is gonna be Confusion Illusion. I'm gonna be putting Confusion Illusion in bad. I feel like this is kind of just a meme ability overall. You basically just swap people's controls, and you have to be close to them to do it. It's just a meme ability to mess around with people with. Next up is going to be Doke Genjutsu. Doke Genjutsu is going to be below Akuma on good. Now, what this does is basically makes it attack other people. So, if you cast this on 2 or so people, they will attack the nearest person to them, and you could actually turn people against each other in team fights, especially. That's probably where Doke actually shines when it comes to this ability. But there's also some glitches that you can do with Doke second and things like that. And it's overall just a good ability to use, but I don't think anything puts it above it. It shouldn't be put above anything that is actually useful in a 1v1 scenario. Next up is going to be Sleeping Kinjutsu. Now, this is obviously going to be the worst ability in the game. Many people have tried to get this buffed. It has like 50 hand signs and only stuns for like 0.00001 seconds. I don't know why this has never been buffed, but it is overall just a really garbage ability. Next up is to be Ryan Ren's third ability. Now, I'm putting it at the bottom of good. If it had the old time that they were under the Genjutsu, it would actually be Broken. Now, the time was lessened by a ton. And since the time was lessened by a ton, the ability is overall just not as good anymore. But it used to be good for actually stunning people because even though they could cast abilities, pretty much the only thing you could do was auto dodge after you get hit with it. And that's was basically the only thing that you could do. Next up would be Forge Second. Now, Forge Second is going to be at the top of good. Now, this is debatable whether or not this is a Genjutsu or not, but I feel like it is because it does blind them and things like that. And I feel like overall, Forge Stun is one of the best stuns in the game, but it just doesn't last long enough to be put in really good. Next up would be Riser Akuma Stun. Now, Riser Akuma Stun is going to be at the bottom really good. Now, the reason for this is because it is really hard to hit on people that are up in the air. But you still can do it, but it is extremely hard. It also teleports you to them. And while that can enable a lot of combos, it makes a lot of combos not possible when in contrast to the Bankai Genjutsu. Next up would be Riser Akuma Blade. Riser Akuma Blade, I'm going to be putting at the top of really good. Now, I feel like this is very, very good. You get iframes from using the ability. It does like 30k damage. And overall, it's just a really good weapon spec to have because the stun on it is really, really long. It's like one of the longest stuns in the entire game from a weapon spec. But the only thing is that it's super short range, but the Genjutsu on it is very, very good. Next up is going to be Satori Cspec. Satori Cspec I'm going to be putting at the bottom of good. The only real use for this is running away. That's the only way I see the C-Spec actually being useful in a fight, either running away or trying to disengage to get a better scenario for you. That's pretty much going to be it for Satori C-Spec. Next up would be Shindai's third ability. Shindai's third ability is going to be at the bottom of broken. Now, the reason for this is because if you get hit by the sunflower, it is a stun. It does quite a bit of damage, and it does a meteor effect on you, which can make it so you get like bummed over for some reason. The meteor effect sometimes cancels like charging chi and things like that, even though it's not supposed to because it's just a visual effect. But it can also get you killed extremely fast because the sunflower is very hard to avoid overall because it's an AoE move, and pretty much the only thing you can do against it is block right as it's going up. Next up would be Satori's first ability. Satori's first ability is going to be at the bottom really good. Now, the reason for this is because I feel like it does have a lot of use in fights and such. There's just other better auto dodges in the game, but this Genjutsu ability is really good. Next up to be Satori Akuma's third ability. It's going to be at the top of really good. If they had all of the old stats on it and stuff like that, and it did a lot of damage still, it would be at the top of broken. But ever since the damage on it was lowered and the stun time was actually lowered, it's just going to be at the top of really good. It's just a really good ability to use and really good for combos. Next up to be Reality Talk. Reality Talk is going to be a meh. The reason for this is because it actually is an auto dodge. I don't know if you guys knew that or not. It is an auto dodge, and it does stun for quite a while. However, the main issue with this is that it's a very close ranged ability. Next up would be Tree Illusion. Now, Tree Illusion is literally just a better sleeping Genjutsu, pretty much. The Tree Illusion is practically just a better sleeping Genjutsu, and it's practically the exact same as Reality Talk, but you don't get an auto dodge. Next up would be Yang's second ability. Yang's second ability is going to be at the bottom of a good. Now, it does a lot of damage, and it does a very short stun. It used to stun for quite a long time, but it is a very short Genjutsu stun. Next would be Yang's third ability. Yang's third ability is going to be above the second ability on good. I feel like the slam on it is very good for movement and things like that, but the actual Genjutsu ability doesn't stun for very long. And next up is going to be Yang's sixth ability. It's going to be in the middle of really good. Now, the Yang's sixth ability is one of the single highest damage abilities in the game. I don't know if you guys knew that or not. And it is a Genjutsu stun, and it can keep someone stun locked in combos. However, the end of it, there is a lot of end lag, so just keep that in mind. Anyways, guys, it's going to actually be it for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe, comment for more. Hope to see you next one, guys. Bye-bye.